Oh my God, folks. I'm from Georgia. Nightmare incarnate. What do I do? Help. Just kidding. Man, we got an ice storm coming in out here. I've been unwell. I didn't go to the grocery store to get any supplies. It's only been doing this for a couple hours. It's going to do it for like another 3 days. Oh, shit. Grocery store's just a hike that way, less than a mile, if it's open, which is Oregon. I imagine it is. Willie can't drive nowhere. That's a big nope. Fuck y'all. Nope. Absolutely not. Don't give a damn. No. I could only imagine if that happened to Atlanta. Holy shit. That's going to be interesting enough here. Well, I managed to walk myself all the way to the grocery store, and I'm almost back. It's cold. I'm wearing about 4 layers. Check out all this ice and sleet. It's not really snow. It's ice and sleet that's still coming down. A couple more days of it left. Folks, there was only the most dedicated out there on the road. And they were out there playing too. I'm tempted. I'm at least going to move my Tornado around the neighborhood in a little while. That being said, hey, nobody could drive in that. I don't see how, anyway. Let's look at it, folks. It's only about 7/10 of a mile to the grocery store, which is no big deal at all. If I'd have been feeling better lately, it wouldn't have been any problem to walk that far. But given how everything's been, that was a bit of a challenge. So, a lot more out of breath at it at 20-something degrees than you would figure. But again, I'm from Georgia. This, just what I'm looking at, that's the running track, is essentially as much frozen precipitation as I've really ever seen in my life, except in 1993 one time. And it's just barely getting started. So folks, at least I live in a town where the town keeps moving when this sort of thing happens. I'm not just frozen and destitute with nothing to do, nowhere to go. It's not totally shut down. Everything is open if I can walk myself to it. And technically I could probably drive. But there's your sign. You can see my road out there in the distance. And here's another one. And you notice that the locals ain't damn gone nowhere. I see footprints on that street, but I don't see the first tire track. Ain't nobody trying to drive in this shit who knows any better. So if you're in the Eugene Springfield area, Snowmageddon, Ice-mageddon is upon us. Please be careful out there. Stay off the roads unless you have the proper equipment. And even then, remember, I don't care what you got, you still can't stop riding this. All right, folks, try to stay warm. All right, we're out here in Eugene in the ice storm, and look at this, folks. We play ice hockey. Just take that pair of pliers, and I'll just slip all the way to the garage. Look at that. But imagine that, Wildman Willie out here fixing a car in it. Folks, we had another undercar skid plate get ripped up, and in this weather it was collecting snow and ice and causing problems with the vehicle. There wasn't that much left, but I've installed my zip ties. Not as pretty as usual. My dexterity's down a little bit. It's freezing cold out here. Them hands is numb. So what we're going to do is cut off the remnants of that, get this car back on the road, or back on the ice skating rink, whatever you want to call it. Now, the funny part, I was laughing with the client about it. I was telling him that in Georgia, this would be Armageddon if the weather was like this. There wouldn't be a single car on the road, and even if there was, man, no way, Jose, I couldn't go anywhere. Hell, I was laughing. He called and asked if I'd work on it. I was like, yeah, if you can get here, I'm down. Well, imagine that. They showed up. So, man of my word, there we have it. So as you can see, that skid plate, or what's left of what's left, it's missing. It's actually the inner wheel well liner. It's missing a piece right here now. That got road rashed off, but it's relatively secure. Don't want to move. All that rattle you're hearing is the ice cubes and icicles up under the car. So that looks like it's secured. I'm going to do a little look around on the underneath, make sure nothing else hanging, and then we're going to call this one a day. Have fun out there, folks. Be safe. Stay off the road unless you got to go. Howdy everybody, Wildman Willie here, and we're getting ready to make the great escape. As many of y'all know, it's been frozen solid out here like Hoth, and I've been unable to really leave. Got out yesterday for some much needed overpriced supplies at the Right Now shop, but now It's wet and pouring rain. There is still some slick spots. So we're out here in the Oldsmobile. We're going to utilize that as our safer vehicle for the snow. We're going to take a quick run to the grocery outlet. We're going to grab some new tobacco, a few things. So it's been a minute since I've been more than a mile outside the house, and boy, am I ready. There is going to be some serious money that has to be made to get me through the rest of this month. It's the 18th, and hell, I've hardly worked at all. That being said, there's plenty of work lined up to do, so that's not a real obstacle, just a challenge going forward. Looks like I am going to have to do plenty of work in the rain. But today we're sitting at 196,214, and we've put some mileage on this car, and we're going to continue to a little bit. It seems happier about it every time. Really proved itself for me yesterday as a useful item to have around. That Mitsubishi, it may do great in it. I'm not going to find out. The tiniest bump, and that's all done. This is a irreplaceable car. I don't want anything to happen to it. I'm careful, don't get me wrong. It's big. It's got real bumpers and belt cladding on it. We're just better off, all right? This is what we'll call it. Other thing that super impressed me on this ride is the anti-lock brake system is ancient, old school, but it is actual four-wheel independent, and it works really damn well. The car has kind of ghosty brake pedal feel normally, as your rear brakes are not directly connected to your master cylinder in the traditional way. So pedal feel is always a bit odd. Well, when the anti-lock kicks in, that changes. You can feel every solenoid in it doing things, and the pedal feel changing. You just let it do it, and it comes to a stop real damn straight and real well. Again, frozen solid, and it was like, ha, thank you for having good features. Anyway, talking your ear off, that's me needing nicotine real bad, caffeine to the max. We about have enough temperature here to leave the driveway, so let's go on a quick adventure. Out here in Springfield today, getting ready to do a job, and I just wanted to show y'all what the ice storm did to our beautiful community out here. It tore up every tree at this park. There's snapped trees, there's busted trees all up and down the street. Everywhere I go, you can see it looked like a damn tornado come through here. So, debris, tree limbs everywhere. We value our trees in Eugene, Springfield. They're all going to be all right, but they're going to look a little bit gnarlier than they did before. And as you can see, look at that temporary power tied to that. Jesus Christ. All right, let's get over to the job site. But I just wanted y'all to see, it wrecked us out here. It was rough. No, folks, it's not the next Cheech and Chong movie. We had some seriously bad spark plug tube seals on this Hyundai. Just got done doing a full tune-up on it, and I expected we would have a smoke cloud like this in the neighborhood. This will go away after a second. We're going to give it a couple of throttle revs here. Right off the bat, though, that ain't sitting here misfired. That's running correctly. Yeah. Burn it on out. No misfire, not at all though. I was running dead smooth as silk. All that smoke clear off. Get done with the Cheech and Chong movie, because that will take but a second longer, and we'll have ourselves a complete repaired car. We'll give it a few more revs, burn that off a little bit. It poured a bunch, folks. Just look at it. I mean, that shit was nasty, nasty. We did the valve cover gasket, spark plug tube seals. So we repaired what ails it. Mostly through. All out or quit smogging. Then we'll be all done. All right, we'll let you know how it goes. Out here getting back to work, and on today's docket, we've got a Toyota. It's a Corolla, I think. I don't think it's a Camry. Hell, I forget. We'll find out when I get out. It's all the same to me. We got 265,000 miles on it, so over a lunar distance here. Tire pressure monitor stays on. Interestingly, we have engine coolant up to temp. We have icy cold air coming out of the vents. Surely that's all the way on heat. Yes, it is. So that's bad. What we have this guy in for today is radiator, other cooling system stuff. And that's going to be a fun one. As you can see, it's a little damp out here. The rain's supposed to be done. I'm going to get up the awning, put up on it anyway, so that we can stay a little drier. Let's see what the hell is going on over here. Ain't no coolant in that hose. Warm. Some coolant in that hose. How brave am I? Way braver than I should fucking be. Radiator's about empty. None in the overflow. So, first thing to tell the customer is this car is officially hot right now, regardless of what that temp gauge says. I'm going to have to wait a minute before I can do that. Good news is, that's engine oil. It ain't head gasket slurry, no chocolate milk to be found here. So, you can see my marks on these radiator hoses. When I first encountered this car for a starter motor, these were just loose, like hand loose off. I don't know what I'm going to find as the main culprit here. I believe I got a water pump for the damn thing too. We'll see. I have at least the radiator and a few things. We're going to knock that out. We're going to get that done. But first, let's get the tent together and let's go get my body properly motivated and medicated so I can do this and not cry. Anyway, Toyota time at the Ponderosa. Let's try to stay dry and knock it out. Good plan for the day. All right, everybody, as you can see, the rain is catching up with me, but I'm everybody's favorite all-weather mechanic, so why not just continue? Just got that new water pump installed, torqued to specification correctly. About to mark it up with my green pen. Let them know that it's been done. Now, this rain is getting pretty sorry, so I'm going to have to quit here in a minute. But these are my witness marks on my bolts that I have installed. Sorry, hard to do while talking and holding the camera. There's that one. There's that one. It's witnessed. That's an ugly witness mark, but it's a witness mark. We're out here just getting soaked in the rain. But I got the water pump installed and the gasket on that while it was dry for a minute. So that's good. Next up is to get the thermostat in the hole. I mean, I've done prettier, but you see what I'm working with while I clean this up. And where the hell is it going to go after I clean it off? Anyhow, nice new water pump on that, FVP model. Everything torque spec. A new thermostat to go in it. Going to clean up the housing. Should be able to get that done right now, as that's an O-ring gasket. No problem there. We'll see about propping the radiator back in this, but I am getting wet. At the same time, I really need this payday. So we're going to get everything done I possibly can. I'm not going to melt from this. Just kind of sucks. Honestly, it's above 40 degrees, so I'm happy at the moment. But here we go. Get it installed. Don't let weather ruin it for you. Just make it a small setback and a delay, not a conquering stop. Shouldn't take too much to get this part back together, and then we'll go from there. Well, today's a little bit drier so far, which has been good, but it looks like it's about to hit either way. And of course, I'm behind. But you know what? I'd rather explain why I'm behind than not moving at all. With some of the stuff I've been through lately, it's been rough, folks. But we got a new radiator in this. We got a new water pump in this. We got a new thermostat in this. So all that's looking happy. Ought to be great. We got her filled up with coolant. Now it's time to burp this system. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my heater on full blast. I'm going to crank the car. Going to let it idle for a while. And I'm going to continue adding coolant until I got all there out of these here hoses. Although I took my time filling it, so there hopefully won't be too much. In any event, let's start it up. Let's test it. Let's get this thing going. I expect nothing but good things. Take your time on your burping procedure. This can take a couple of times. You may need to bring it all the way up to temp and then shut her down and let her cool off and reassess. Running my burping procedure now, and you can see a couple little air bubbles coming out of that. Thermostat has yet to open, so I expect the level to drop one pretty good time. So far, not a lot of heat in my hoses yet. Thermostat is not open. I do have heat in the car, so apparently I didn't have heat in the car before. We're coming up on the temperature gauge. We ain't normal temp yet, but I believe this is mostly burped here. being as how I have warm air associated with that. As soon as the thermostat opens, coolant level will probably drop. One more good air pocket come out. What I probably need to do is bring her all the way up, make sure she stops, put my radiator cap back on, drive it around the neighborhood, let it cool for 15-20 minutes with the nose of it parked up on that hill so that all the air wants to move in the front, and that ought to take care of that. But this thing's already running immediately smoother. You can see my markings all over that water pump pulley, but she's happy about what's been done. Let's give her another little taste here. And again, I'm just topping off with water. They're going to go need to get a cooling system flush and coolant replacement when I'm done. I always do it that way. If I'm going to have leaks, I want to find out with water, not toxic coolant all over my yard. But so far, so good on this one. No real heat yet there. None yet there, but we ain't the thermostat open point yet. I'll know more in just a minute. Let's keep her rocking. All right, well, that's that fun, happy adventure over. Car's ready to pick up, running happy. Didn't take much to get all the air bubbles out of the cooling system this time. These Camrys like to be done. So, new radiator cap, marks installed, old radiator hose, but that's someone else's new one. New thermostat, new water pump. It is not an O-ring gasket on that water pump. It's a paper seal. Looks like it's doing good. Everything is marked. Everything. I smeared the shit out of it, but ready for pickup. We'll have them come get this one. Next thing I'm going to sell this gentleman is a tune-up and some suspension components, maybe some headlights. Hell, there's plenty of money to harvest off of this tree, but proof is in the pudding. This is what they needed for now. Heat, no coolant loss, smooth running car, no overheating. Done, ready for pickup. Let's inform them. It's a truly beautiful day out here in Springfield, and you can see just a little bit of the tree damage done by this ice storm. It was pretty damned extreme, and a lot of Springfield looks much more beat up than Eugene. Pretty sad, really. But springtime will come along and regrow that, and they'll be stronger, but the pretty pristineness is going to be a little different. It's going to be more gnarly. Big wood piles there. Everybody out here got hit. But today, we got a Grand Cherokee here. Or maybe she's a Cherokee. I ain't even really looked. With a rather obvious window regulator problem. We've got Dorman kit in the box. We got nothing to hold us up. No big obstacles here to deal with to get this done. So, this door panel, that's already mostly off from people being mad at it and trying to make it work. So, disassembly should be rather easy. Get out my Phillips head screwdriver and just a little bit of tools. Let's get this plastic off and see what this is going to be all about inside. Window regulators always suck just a little bit. There's no such thing as a truly fun one. But I've done enough that there's no fear here. Let's get to rocking. Here we go. Heck, folks, that might have been the most reasonable window regulator I've ever done. It was a straight bolt-out proposition with no real finagling to be done. The window pins where it clips in, one of them's a little bit damaged, but the new Dorman part has a better, more secure way of doing that. So good. One that otherwise would kind of be screwed is now working, if just a little bit noisy. But you know, it's been jammed and screwed up for a long time. Down we go with auto window. Stops on its own. Up we go with window up. Sometimes it makes a little click pop when it gets to the top, but I ain't hearing it now. Well, you see, you hear that. But again, I can't even fully attach the door plastics. It's missing pins. That's mission accomplished, folks. That's a functioning window. Let's let the customer know it's ready for delivery, and we'll see what else we can get into today.